Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today just got an awesome new archetype, Raizeol. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check this out. So Raizeol is an awesome new archetype that we're actually getting released in the next deck builder pack, Crossover Breakers. And this is actually the mech archetype for that pack. So let's go ahead and check out and see what these cards actually do. So it's a really cool XZ based archetype that's actually based around thunder and lightning, and also some of them are pyro monsters, which is really interesting. So the first one we have is Sword, and this card has two really cool abilities. And this card is a level 4 Fire Thunder effect monster with 1500 attack and 200 defense. And the first thing I'm thinking is Thunder Dragon Colossus, since it is a Thunder archetype. But let's go ahead and see what these cards actually do. So you can only special summon this card with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. And you can only use its second effect of this card's name once per turn. Then if you have a Raizeol monster on your field or in the grave, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if it's summoned this way, you cannot special summon the X check for the rest of the turn except rank 4 XZ monsters, which is really good that they actually lock you into XZ monsters, so you're probably not going to be summoning Colossus in this deck. This card's second effect is, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a light pyro monster from your deck to your hand. So there's going to be a lot of light pyro monsters in this archetype that you can actually search off this card's effect. So this card is definitely a 3-of right off the bat because it's basically the Stratos of the deck. Plus, it's really cool because this card is already an extender to be able to special summon itself from your hand. So this card is really good. That's a really good first start for this deck. So for the next card, we have Node, and this is actually going to be a level 4 Fire Thunder effect monster with 1400 attack and 1600 defense, again with 2 effects. That you can only special summon this card with its first effect of this card's name once per turn, and you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is if you have an XZ monster on the field or in the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is summoned this way, you cannot special summon from the X check for the rest of the turn except rank 4 XZ monsters. I really like that they're actually locking you not only into XZ monsters, but they're also locking you into rank 4s, because that's going to lock down a lot of insane plays that you can actually pull off for this deck to make it not quite so broken, and I really like that about this archetype already. So this card's second effect is you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard to target a Raizeol monster in your graveyard except another copy of Node, and special summon the defense, but its effects are negated, which is a great ability to get you an additional level 4 monster out on your side of the field so that you can instantly go in for one of your XZ plays. That's pretty cool. I like this card. This card might be like a 2-of in the deck, but it is really good because it is an extender, but it does require you to have that XZ monster, which is a little bit more of asking for this deck to have an XZ monster on the field or in the graveyard. So this card is probably a 2-of in the deck. Unless we get like a Rhoda, then you might have this card as like a 1-of, because it is a Thunder monster, so we don't have a Thunder Rhoda yet, but this card is pretty good. So for the next one, we have Ice Raizeol. I hope this is really good because this card looks awesome. This card has a really cool effect that it's actually a level 4 light pyro effect monster. So this card is searchable with like Bonfire because it searches pyro monsters. Its attack is 1700 with 1000 defense points, and you can only special summon this card with its first effect name once per turn. You only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect of this card, you can actually special summon this card from your hand by sending one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. And if this card is summoned this way, you can't special summon from the X check for the rest of the turn except rank 4 XZs. Again, locking you into XZs. That's really good. It looks like that's going to be a blanket effect across all of your different Raizeol monsters, but that's pretty good that you get to send a card from your hand or field to the grave, because that pretty much sets up for your copy of Sword, which is going to help you out a lot to instantly get a card in the graveyard so that you can summon out your copy of Sword. So this card might be one of the starters of the deck, and then you follow up with your copy of Sword, and then you can actually XZ summon and then summon out your copy of Node, which is actually really cool. I like how this is going. This is really cool. I might actually like really play this deck. This is really nice. And this card kind of reminds me of like Sparkman. Like, it really makes me think of the Elemental Hero Sparkman as well. So let's go ahead and check out this card's second effect. This card is normal summon. You can special summon a Raizeol monster from the... Oh yeah. This card's a 3F. This card is a 3F. You just instantly, if it's normal summoned, you can actually special summon a Raizeol monster from the deck. So you're going to be normal summoning this card all the time to instantly get it out to your side of the field. This is actually the normal summon of the deck because it's going to instantly special summon an additional Raizeol monster from your deck to your side of the field. So you're probably going to be normal summoning out your copy of Ice to your side of the field and then summoning out your copy of Sword to your side of the field. That if it's normal or special summoned, you can actually add a light Pyro monster from deck to hand. So then you're going to grab your copy of Node and then go off from there because this card lets you send a card from hand or field to grave, and then you target a Raizeol in the grave, except into the copy of this card and special summon defense. So you're just going to go through basically Ice, Sword, and then Node, and then let's see what this one does. This one's really cool looking as well. I really like the artwork. It's got that javelin. That's really cool looking. So this one only has 500 attack, but it is a light pyro effect monster with 2,000 defense points and 500 attack points. And you can only special summon this card once per turn with its name. If this card is special summoned, you can actually special summon this card from your hand by sending an XZ monster from your X deck to the graveyard. That's pretty neat because you can actually send something like one of the aggregator from your X deck to the graveyard, which is pretty neat. And if this card is summoned this way, it locks you into rank 4 XZs. And also, if you normal or special summon, or if this card is normal or special summon, and all face-up monsters you control are level or rank 4 monsters, you can add a Fire Thunder monster from your deck to your hand, giving us some pretty interesting targets because you can actually search out the next one, which is Palma. You can actually search out that one. You can search out your copy of Node or Sword off that effect, which is really neat that you can actually use this card to be able to search out. X-Raizeol's pretty decent. I like that. So for the next one, we have Palma. Palma's pretty neat looking as well. It's like a ring almost. That's really cool. So let's go ahead and check out and see what this one does. This one has 2,400 defense points. That's pretty big. This card has the ability that's actually level 4 Fire Thunder monster, special summon effect monster. That's kind of neat. It has 1,200 attack and 2,400 defense. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must be special summoned from your hand by shuffling one Raizeol monster from your hand graveyard into the X deck or the main deck. And you can only special summon this card, or you cannot special summon from the X deck except rank 4 XZ monsters when it's on your side of the field. And once per turn, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can send a level 4 monster from your hand or deck to the grave. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to the attack of that monster until the end of the battle phase, which is a really neat ability. So this card can get pretty big, actually. That's really neat. So you could actually, like, funny enough, you could actually tech in cards like Chainsaw Insect, which I think is like one of the highest attack point level 4 monsters. And you could boost this card up to like 36, which would be neat on a summon, and then swing for like 36. That's pretty big. That's really neat. I really like this one right off the bat because it can get massive. And you might have to play like one brick, but you can also like tech in other cards to set up for your copy of the Node, because Node's going to just let you send a card and then you can like bring it back, which is really neat. So that's kind of cool. I like that. It really sets up a lot of plays for this card. That's really neat. Okay, so getting into the XZs. Let's go ahead and get into the XZs. So we have Duo Drive. Duo Drive looks cool. These look really cool. Like, I really think I'm going to play these. These are really neat. So this card is a rank 4 Fire Thunder effect XZ monster with 2,500 attack and 2,000 defense, and it's a generic rank 4, so that could be interesting. So this card has 3 effects, and you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can attach a Raizeol monster from your graveyard to this card as a material, which would make it have 3 materials under it, which is really neat. But you can use any amount of materials on this card because it's a +2 for those materials, so this card can have some pretty insane abilities. For each material attached to this card, monsters you control gain 100 attack, and also monsters your opponent control lose 100 attack points. So this card and the Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign are like really close because those cards have similar effects where they're going to make your monsters go up and your opponent's monsters go down. But this one makes all your monsters go up, where the copy of the Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign actually only makes itself go up. So this is pretty neat. I like that 100 attack point loss. That's not much, but it will add up. So for the third effect, during your main phase, you can detach 2 materials from your XZ monsters, and if you do, add up to 2 Raizeol cards with different names from your deck to your hand. This card's a double search? What? Are you kidding me? You can just immediately detach 2 cards from this dude and then add 2 Raizeol cards? Anything? Dude, it adds anything. You're just gonna swarm, dude. That's insane. Okay, so you just instantly get 2 cards from your deck to your hand off this guy. Okay, so we have the searcher of the deck. Let's check out the boss. Okay, oh, I like his name. Raizeol Detonator. Detonator. That's really cool. That's really cool. I like that. Okay, so this is the cover card that we've gotten revealed for this archetype. It's 3,000-2,500. It is a light pyro XZ effect monster with 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense, and its materials are 2+ level 4 Raizeol monsters. So this one is actually locked into the archetype. So you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can attach a material or attach a monster from your graveyard to this card as a material, which is pretty cool to be able to instantly attach a card to this card. It also has the ability that when your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, detach a material from this card, target one of those cards on the field and destroy it. That's not a once per turn. When your opponent activates a card, you can quick effect, detach a material from this card, target one card on the field, and destroy it. And you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. So that's not a once per turn to be able to pop a card. That's pretty good. So this dude is just popping stuff left and right. Okay, and for the third effect, that if an XZ monster control would be destroyed by a battle of a card effect, detach a material from this card instead. So this card is just going to be targeting and popping over and over and over again on a 3,000 attack point boss monster, which is really good. Plus, you only want to go for Zeus for like the follow-up anyways, so like what's the big deal of being locked into XZs? Like, as long as they don't permanently lock you into XZs, like the only one I believe that does is this one, and this one says you can only special summon from the extra except rank 4s, and the other ones are just for the turn. They're not for the duel, so you can basically go in for other cards later on, so you can go in for Zeus and Typhon later. So you're still probably going to play Zeus and Typhon in this deck, but being able to pop stuff left and right is just really, really good. That's really good. We haven't even gotten into like the spells and traps. So let's get into the spells and traps. So for the first one, we have Raizeol Plugin. This card's really neat because that's actually what, the dual XZ monster? Yeah, duo drive. That's duo drive. Okay. So this card has the ability that you can actually target. This is a quick play spell. It lets you target an XZ monster or a Raizeol monster in the graveyard or banishment and just special summon it. Then attach a Raizeol card from your deck to your rank 4 XZ monster's material. Also, you cannot declare attacks for the rest of the turn except with rank 4 XZs. That's totally fine. That's really cool, because it helps you out a lot to be able to get your card back, because that's really good. It's like a Monster Reborn for the archetype. An archetype Monster Reborn is nice. Haven't seen a negate yet, but that's still pretty good. So for the next card, which I believe is the last card in this archetype, we actually have Raizeol Hole Thruster. This is really neat. This card has 2 abilities that you can actually use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target a face of cards your opponent controls up to the number of Raizeol XZ monsters you control and destroy them. Then attach one Raizeol card from your graveyard to your rank 4 XZ monster as a material. For his second effect, you can manage this card in the graveyard. Immediately as effect resolves, you get to use your monsters you control, including a Raizeol monster, to XZ summon, which is a pretty cool ability to just immediately XZ summon into anything. This archetype doesn't have a negate, but that's totally fine because there's already plenty for this deck to be able to pop stuff. And it seems like Yu-Gi-Oh is trying to like work its way away from putting so many negates in the game, which is really nice. But this card being able to pop cards on the field is just really, really good over and over again. The deck seems super consistent, especially with cards like Bonfire still around. And so I feel like this archetype is going to be pretty good right out of the gate, especially since you already have like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main deck monsters, and they're all level 4s. They're very easy to summon out to your side of the field. 2 decent XZ monsters. This one's actually really good. This is a double search. This is a pop multiple things. This is a Monster Reborn, and this is a pop a bunch of things on the field. This is really cool. I really like this archetype overall. They're also reprinting Tornado Dragon, and they're going to reprint Time Thief Redoer. I don't see you really playing Reader that much in here because it's going to be really tough to get a trap on it. You probably will play Reader. It's one of the best XZs. And then Tornado Dragon's really good. You can also make stuff like Abyss Dweller, which is really nice. But overall, this is a really cool archetype. I really like this. I do see Utopia the Double, or Utopia Double being played in this, because you're going to be able to detach and then search and then summon Utopia Double and then swing for 10k. I see that being like an OTK piece for this deck overall. I think it's really neat. I think their cards are really cool. I'm definitely going to play this because I think it's going to be really like a simplistic archetype to be able to just XZ summon into some really cool stuff. Plus the artwork is like fire, dude. Like literally, it's fire. Plus it's like a thunder mech kind of thing going on with like fire. That's really cool. Like they're pyro and like thunder and they're light and fire. Like, you don't see archetypes like that very often where they're just like fire and thunder at the same time. Like, I think they're really cool. So that's gonna do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and there soon come for our notification squad. Are you guys going to be playing Raizeol? Definitely comment down below and tell me what you guys think about this archetype. I think it's really cool. It doesn't have a negate, but overall, I think it's really, really nice. So that's going to do for this one, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.